Let's focus on some of the questions of research aptitude for your 2020 paper. Now the first question here talks about which of the following features best describe an independent variable in a research. So independent variable in the research is the cause, and based on the cause you have the effect, and that effect is the dependent variable. So dependent variable is dependent on what? On the independent variable. So let's say I put it as a simple example, and my example here is that IQ changes with age or IQ varies with age. Okay, now when I say IQ varies with age is the independent variable, and if I am changing the age, what is changing is IQ, so IQ becomes the dependent variable. So age here is the cause, or the independent variable is the cause, and the dependent variable is the effect. So it is the cause, definitely it's the cause, and it is the condition which manipulates the experiment. Okay, so if I change the age, then my experiment findings would change. So you would have A and C as the right option. The next question is non-probability sampling. Now we have covered a separate lecture where we have talked about sampling and the types of sampling. Just to answer this question, we would have the quota sampling. Then you would have the snowball sampling and dimensional sampling as an example of non-probability sampling. If you come here to the chart here, we have the probability sampling as simple, systematic, stratified and cluster, which we have covered in a separate class. And then non-probability as quota, purposive, volunteer and haphazard or convenience sampling. That's a very, very direct question. The next question is, a college principal conducts an ethnographic probe into the problems faced by the tribal students. So what would be the best approach? The best approach here would be a random sampling. So the principal would ask the people to go randomly and see what are the problems that is being faced by the tribal students. So they would randomly select the students, and the ethnographic probe for those students would be done, and this would be based on random sampling. Since no other information is given, this would be a random sampling. If it was given that every third student, every fifth student is taken, then it would be a systematic sampling. If it was said that we would identify the clusters of most vulnerable tribes or least vulnerable tribes, and then we would select few students from each of those groups, then it would be a stratified sampling, and so on. The next is, a researcher intends to find out the differences in the motivational outlook of first degree level students in terms of their belongingness to rural urban area and their educational status of the parents. Now what we are trying to find out is the motivational outlook, and this motivational outlook is dependent on what? This motivational outlook that we are trying to find out is dependent on, first of all, where the student belongs, whether he is from an urban profile or a rural profile, and what is the educational status of the parents. Those two things would determine the motivational outlook. So motivational outlook is the dependent variable which is dependent on these two variables, the belongingness and the education of the parents, which is the independent variable. So here the dependent variable would be what? The dependent variable would be the motivational outlook. The next question is, which of the following methods for acquiring knowledge save time and effort? Now when I am a researcher doing my research, if I am consulting any authority for data, for a secondary data that is there, then definitely my time and effort would be saved, because what I would be putting in the first hand or as a field work would be reduced, because I am already consulting an authority and they have already done the research and the field and the groundwork, and I would be utilizing that. So this would save my time and effort. So you would have 4 as the right option here. The next question is, assertion: a researcher has to observe the codal formalities at all stages without the scope and the leeway of offending moral and ethical norms. That is very, very true, and that is where we have the whole unit of ethics in research. So the assertion here is definitely correct, and the reason says, in respect of data collection, analysis and interpretation, there is a considerable scope for being ethically vulnerable. That's again true, and because there is a scope to be ethically vulnerable, there is a requirement that there should be codal formalities that should be observed by by the researcher. So both assertion and reason are correct, and reason correctly explains the assertion here. The next question talks about a very simple topic, which is plan, act, observe and reflect cycle, which is the action cycle for the action research, which talks about the immediate solution to a problem. However, the purpose of action research is to bring critical reflection and an immediate solution to a problem. It's not a cause-effect relationship that is being established. So statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect, and action research, a very important topic asked off and on for your NET examination. The last question here is, which of the following features of research are associated with qualitative inquiry? Now, when it is qualitative, I am definitely not going after quantity. So data is something that I am not bothered about. So I straightforwardly remove the choice that mentions data and the relation between the cause to the changes. So B and D are ignored. Now actual settings, definitely I need to know when I am trying to say the qualitative situation. Then I am understanding the process, not just the outcomes, and there is a participative perspective, because students and the people would come, given their opinion, given their polls, given their feedback, and that is something which is qualitative, that can be obtained only through the behavioral analysis of others, and therefore is an important and essential part of qualitative learning. So those are some of the important points that we need to cover as a researcher under qualitative inquiry. So those were some of the basic questions asked in your NET examination 2020. For practice and more details, we have all the sets which are available at the Doorstep website. You can refer there for practice and questions. We would be bringing in many more interesting topics for you. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day.